Poetry Weekend is an ungodly marathon of ultimately incredibly rewarding readings and greetings and meetings.
Poetry Weekend is a must.
Probably the best Poetry Weekend memory I have is the very first Poetry Weekend, because it just happened by accident. It was never intended to be a Poetry Weekend. It was never intended to be an event. We were just simply the venue in the Maritimes that could have Barry Dempster on a Saturday night and still expect an audience.
I heard about Poetry Weekend at its inception. The inaugural, I think it was 2003, Poetry Weekend.
Next thing we knew, we were doing joint launches of UNB graduates with Woolsack and Wynne and Goose Lane Editions, so that was 4 poets, and I thought I'd fit them in. And then it was Breathing Fire 2 launch, and that was another 5 poets or so, some living in Fredericton. But then I started getting emails. I'm in that anthology, can I come? Eventually I was getting emails from all over the country saying, I'm touring with a new book, I hear you're having this event. And it just snowballed like that.
I came to Poetry Weekend initially to read, and quickly grew so enamored with the number of poets that gather here and the quality of writing that all of them brought with them, and readership. And I got quickly hooked that first time. This is my 3rd visit to the weekend festival, and I'm hoping to come back again and again.
I come to Poetry Weekend to meet other poets, to hear other poets, to have a lovely time. It's very sociable.
It just seemed like an opportunity I didn't want to miss.
People come from long distances. Like, I'm amazed how far people will come to be a part of it. Toronto, Montreal, pile into cars, drive all day on Friday, all day back on a Monday, just to be up there reading 3 poems.
Gather people together in a car. We drive down to Fredericton. I put them up at my parents' place. Really try and spread the gospel of Poetry Weekend.
A lot of it is just what goes on between the readings, the discussions about poetics, the new books that are out, you know, why we do what we do, all of those kinds of things.
These are not propositions, but several halves of several potential metaphors.
Like wind turns a strand of exhaled smoke into a helical twist.
The readings have graduate students, new and emerging poets, well and established poets, all reading together, all reading for the equal amount of time. So it's really a kind of celebration.
His heart slipped and his lips were smeared with dirt.
Back to the hospital of no soul's address, of monitors and lines and infinite regress.
I think anybody who is not involved in reading, who is audience, is invited and very free to speak to poets when they aren't reading, to go to lunch with poets they find interesting or have affiliation with, to come to the Saturday night party and be a part of the activities even though they themselves are not a writer. That's wonderful. That's something we encourage. We want that kind of interaction, that kind of excitement about poetry.
I really find it exciting, you know, to get up there and hear somebody new read that I haven't heard before, and that's really, really good.
It's a feast.